Good evening. We're going to call the LaPorte County Council special meeting of July 17th to order. At this time, we're going to stand and say the pledge. Mr. Yagelski.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Auditor.
Mr. Garner, Mr. Mullenauer,
Present.
Mr. Novak,
Present.
Mr. Rosenbaum,
Present.
Mr. Santana,
Present.
Mr. Sullivan,
Present.
and Mr. Yagelski.
Present.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. Public comment. Is there anybody from the public who'd like to speak on this item?
Dennis Matheny, 6757 West 450 North, Michigan City. Is this item got to do with liability for lawsuits or what? I don't quite understand what the county liability fund is.
Would you like to?
You want me to?
Go ahead.
Every year we have a county liability fund. We pay. We're self-insured, so we pay all kinds of things out of that liability. We from a mailbox that a truck hits, a snowplow hits during the wintertime, to lawsuits that someone sues the county. So that's what we use it for.
Has our lawsuits gone up this year?
Yes.
From previous years?
Yes.
There were some...
We had some unusually large suits that we had to settle.
Mr. Yagelski.
Mr. Matheny, just, the county council doesn't settle the lawsuits. There has been a couple times they've come as commissioners that settle the lawsuits through the commissioner's attorney. So there has been one time I think you've asked us on one of the cases, but we don't, as a general rule, we don't settle those.
But somebody is coming to ask for money.
Correct. I'm just saying that.
So they come in here.
Because they've exhausted the funds. And we have some insurance premiums too.
Right. The biggest chunk of this is insurance premium.
Correct.
Well, I thought she said you were self-insured.
Up to a point, and then the insurance kicks in. Just like most cities, Michigan City, they pay the first chunk, right, and then the rest of the insurance policy picks up.
Pretty good chunk.
So there's building insurance, vehicle insurance, there's the liability insurance, all those different things.
Is anybody being held accountable for the additional lawsuits that we're having? Why are we having more now than in previous year or two?
Because here's my question, Commissioner. Again,
is that a commissioner question? You'd have to
ask the commissioners that.
Okay.
We don't. I mean, it wouldn't be right for any of us to speak on these specific things.
That's okay.
In a general basis, I'd say too, we have become a sue society, right, and as years have gone on. But
can you drop the cost of the insurance so that they cover more instead of us covering more out of pocket? Just a question.
Well, but then it would cost more.
Right.
So it's a lower deductible costs you more up front. So Mr. Freeman's going to, the commissioner's attorney is going to explain.
We have excess carrier coverage for claims over a certain amount. We did have, for instance, a sheriff's death in custody suit that resulted in settlement. There are always efforts being made to try to reduce litigation, to reduce exposure, but that was among the things that ran an additional cost. We worked hard with a third-party claims adjuster for the county, Gallagher Bassett, to try to reduce exposure. They make recommendations. We work with the county's liability agent of record as well to try to reduce exposure. We worked with Mr. DiMartino on selection for a new medical provider for the jail, which the council was involved in, to also try to help reduce exposure as well. But Mr. Santana says, unfortunately, it is a litigation-happy environment, but we're constantly working at trying to reduce exposure at this point.
Thank you. I appreciate those explanations.
Thanks, Dennis.
Anybody else from the public that would like to speak? Hearing none, public comment is closed. Special meeting business. Consider motion to approve request from the LaPorte County Commissioners for an additional appropriation to the County Liability Fund, Fund number 4701, in the amount of $800,000 from Riverboat Fund 1191. Mr. Yagowski.
Mr. President, make a motion for consider liability fund 4701 for amount of $800,000 from Riverboat Fund 1191.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second on the question.
Yeah, just Madam Auditor, again, not being able to anticipate these things, should that, when we talked about we have some fees to pay already and this and that, is there still going to be a little chunk there after that to get us to the end of the year?
Do you mean in the liability fund?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, hopefully. Let me just
Well,
say
that's
that.
what and I understand
Hopefully,
that.
yes.
You betcha.
We currently,
Yes.
just so you know, we currently have claimed the amount of the invoices right around $600,000. Should give the commissioners about another $200,000
Right.
and a couple
Okay.
dollars
So we're
to get them
hoping.
through the end of the year. So they need to tighten up their belt.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got a motion and a second there,
You have a
sir?
motion and a second. Is there any other comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
Oops.
Any council comments? Attorney comments? Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
A motion is second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you.